Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly astrology and pick a card reading. This is for the 26th of July through to the 1st of August 2021. I'm just going to go through the cards that I'm using for this week. Obviously I've got the Astro dice, which I use every week as well. And the deck here, the tarot deck I'm using today is the Silver Witch Tarot. I'm also using the Gateway Oracle by Denise Lynn. I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco as well. So those are the cards, just because sometimes people like to know what cards I use. And just before I start with the astrology for the week ahead and the pick a card section, just a couple of things. So if you'd like to book a reading for yourself, whether it's an astrology report or an audio recording or a video reading, there's astrology readings, there's psychic readings, there's a mixture of, it's all different readings. You can have a look on my store. The link will be below. So have a look at that. My shop is open at the moment. The turnaround time for a standard reading is around 8 to 16 business days, which is pretty normal. What else? And there are fast turnaround readings for people that want like an urgent reading. You can get that within 24 to 72 hours usually. And that can be done via Facebook chat or via, if you're local to Sydney, it can be via telephone call. I'm doing that as well. Or it can be by WhatsApp voice recorded chat back and forth. And so there are some options there. But if you want to look at everything on my store, have a look at the link below, because I do have quite a few different options for readings that I've had there for quite a few years now. So that's the update for that. All right, I'm going to talk about the astrology now. So what's happening this week? Starting with Mercury moving into Leo. So that will happen on the 29th, so in a few days. Mercury moves into Leo, which makes people's communication much more bold. So people will be wanting to communicate more from their heart. Leo rules the heart area. Leo is about self-expression and open self-expression, honest self-expression. And so people will be either expressing themselves more boldly or more honestly. The lower expression of Leo, so I like to look at the lower vibration of a sign and the higher vibration. So the lower expression of Leo, we could see people making really bold statements, sort of almost as a defense mechanism or to kind of shield themselves from something. So that's the negative way it could manifest, or it could be a very reactive energy or a bossy or aggressive style of communication. On the higher vibration, as I said, it's truth, it's honesty, it's speaking from your heart, it's speaking your truth and that kind of thing. It can also be creative as well. So if you're a creative person and you're someone that likes to receive creative ideas and put those ideas into practice or take action around those ideas, this is a time with Mercury and Leo when you may get more creative ideas, especially around writing, or if you're into music, you might want to write more. Or if you're into poetry, you might write more. Or if you're into painting, you may want to paint more. Anything creative is really good. And so Mercury will actually be in the sign of Leo, which favors bold and honest communication through to the 12th of August. The other thing that we have at the moment is we do have, as I mentioned last week, actually, Venus went into Virgo last week. And Venus, I just want to let you guys know, will be in Virgo till the 17th of August. The reason I'm mentioning that date is because Venus in Virgo, it's kind of an energy that favors the details, and it can be a bit neurotic. It can be a bit of a fearful energy for Venus. Venus is not well placed in Virgo. It's a more difficult placement for Venus to be in. Venus loves to be in Taurus. Venus loves to be in Libra. And that's the good news, actually, is Venus is coming up to Libra after it's run through Virgo. And that's going to be from around the 18th of August. Venus moves out of Virgo, which I'm looking forward to that date. Especially myself as someone I'm ruled by Venus. I'm also ruled by Pluto. My chart ruler is Pluto because my Scorpio rising. But I have a lot of Taurus in my chart, so Venus is a very strong theme. So anyone out there that has a strong Venus ruled chart or Venus ruled sun, moon or rising, so Libra, sun, moon or rising, or Taurus, sun, moon or rising, you guys will find that from the 18th of August, when Venus moves into its home sign, one of its home signs of Libra, that things are much more harmonious for the Venus-ruled people. So I just want to mention that. But for everybody, for relationships and finances, there should be some improvement around the 18th of August. So I am skipping ahead a bit, but I just want to give you that heads up because things are a little bit tense at the moment. That's another energy that you can experience with Venus in Virgo, is feeling a little bit uptight around things that you want to feel a bit more relaxed around, like your relationships, your creativity. You might be feeling more self-critical. You might be more focused on the details of everything that you're doing to try to make it perfect. And there's a need to kind of release that tension a little bit if you can, where you can at the moment, because Venus in Virgo is quite uptight energy. Also, not only do we have Venus in Virgo, but from this week, from the 30th, in a few days, Mars will join Venus and go into Virgo as well. So it's a lot of Virgo energy with Venus and Mars in that earthy Virgo energy. Now, on the positive side, we can use this energy for creative aspects of life that have a practicality. So if you need to practice a musical instrument, perfect energy for that this month leading up to those dates in August that I said, where we'll go more into Libra energy. But Venus and Mars in Virgo can bring a focus to health of the body and looking after your health in a way that's part of your daily routine. So you may think, once I get up in the morning, before I have anything, I should have something healthy to drink first. It's things like that, putting into your routine little things that just add benefit to your health. Virgo is very much a health conscious energy. It's also very work orientated. So it can be difficult if you don't have a lot of focus at this time, because you need that focus. You need to look at the details. It's a good time to research things. So if there's areas of life, especially health related, that you want to research, this is a perfect time. You can do it with Venus and Mars, or Venus already in Virgo and Mars moving into Virgo from the 30th. Researching things about health, looking after your health, making changes to your diet to improve the quality of your health. Virgo is very much a sign about improving things, and also it's a sign that relates to practicing and improving a skill or ability or a talent. So putting the time and the work in and the focus and the dedication. It's quite a disciplined energy, so it can be a time where you might start to put some improvements into your daily routine that just help you feel more settled, and I do recommend doing that because of Venus and Mars being both in Virgo. We're going to feel a little bit more uptight, especially if you're someone that has 6th house in your chart, or if you have Virgo placements in your chart or earthy energy, you might feel this more. You may feel this as difficult if you have anything around early degrees of mutable signs, which are, the mutable signs are Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo, and Gemini. So those signs will be a little bit challenged by this energy with the Virgo energy. Some of the difficult aspects of the Virgo energy are being fearful, being obsessive, being overly worried about health, overly worried about any tiny thing. Not saying don't pay attention to your health. Of course, pay attention to your health and trust your intuition. Follow up on anything that you're worried about, but it can definitely increase a neurotic aspect. It's known for that kind of energy. And so yourself, your own self. If you're someone who has a tendency to worry, you may find that these energies can sort of bring that up. So just be aware of that, especially around the 30th, when Mars moves into Virgo. There could be a bit of an obsessive energy around. And we could see it in the collective. We could see people obsessing about health things, and it's already going on in society as it is, but it could increase in some way. But as I said, we've got from around the 18th of August to look forward to when Venus goes into Libra, because things will relax in some way then. And we'll be able to, definitely I feel like it's more of a social energy once Venus goes into Libra. And when Mars goes into Libra, that will be the 16th of September, so that should be more relaxing time for people in some way. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's definitely more relaxed than Virgo energy. All right, so this weekend, just to finish up with the rest of the astrology, the Sun in Leo will make an opposition with Saturn. So this weekend there's going to be a bit of a tension energy that people may sense. People may feel, especially if you're in Australia, in certain states like where I am, in Victoria and Sydney are both, we're in a lockdown. As I mentioned last week, we're still in lockdown, and we're meant to come out of it this weekend. Interestingly, they were meant to announce that the lockdown was supposed to end for the end of this month or the 1st of August. I think originally it was the 30th. But with this transit, the Sun opposite Saturn, I think it's going to get extended. This is just a message for the people in Sydney. I suspect it would get extended because of this Sun opposite Saturn, which is a tension between the Sun in Leo, which is wanting to express itself, and a pull between Saturn, which is governance of the people. So there's some tension on the weekend there. It's not really, I mean, it's not the worst. It could be a sun square Saturn. That's a bad energy, quite a heavy energy. I don't want to say bad, but it's quite heavy. But this is an opposition, which it's still difficult, but it's not as severe. So we'll see what happens, but there is tension on the weekend between people wanting to express themselves freely and feeling that they have to be cautious and they don't feel like they can. So that is energy. And if it's not in the collective, it would also be, you know, if it's not just in the collective, it's be in our personal lives. And this energy could be just feeling a little bit dampened down, that you feel like you're not being able to express yourself as much as you'd like to. Now, something positive though that I do see coming up around the 31st, over the 31st of July and the 1st of August, is the Sun in Leo sextile the North Node in Gemini. The reason I like this is as a transit, because it looks to me, if you analyze that astrology, it's information, which is the North Node in Gemini, making a positive sextile aspect to the Sun in Leo. Information coming to light and truths coming out. That's how I see that energy. So that's actually very positive and helpful. And yeah, that's all I'd say about the astrology this week. One other thing, just to mention, actually, there's coming up in August, there's going to be another full moon in Aquarius. We just had one last week, and so that's when there's two full moons, usually in 1 month. They call it a blue moon, but it's within a month, in terms of, it's not in the same month, but it's over the course of 4 weeks. It is a blue moon energy, and it's just interesting that it happens to be in Aquarius, which is a sign of freedom and people and the collective. And so it seems to me that there's definitely something going on at this time with a big shift on, I've talked about it before recently, on multiple levels, but people are waking up en masse about certain things that are happening. And, you know, it is a bit of a choice point for people to sort of awaken and choose what, you know, what the light of the truth is. And with that full moon coming up, obviously I'll speak about it, you know, further into the month when it happens in August. But when that full moon happens, it actually conjuncts Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius and rules truth as well. So that's a very positive full moon that's coming up in August. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's the energy for this week. So I'm going to get into the cards now and look at what the messages are for everyone. So firstly, I'm going to do the air signs first. So this is going to be for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So let's have a look at what your messages are, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, for this week. Okay. Some cards popping out here. Ooh, Gemini, you guys, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you guys have the High Priestess, which is trusting your intuition, knowing your truth. See how she's holding that book of wisdom there? She knows what's what. So the air signs, oh, this one jumped, are very much looking at what the truth is based on their intuition. You also have the card Self-Love for the air signs. So that's beautiful. All right, so it says Waning Crescent, and it's a number 4. I've got a 4 in there. Let me just see. Oh yeah, it has a 4 down here. Also, it has a 6 up here though. So 6 is about being of service. 4 is about inner stability. So self-love is about finding, maybe even, I don't know why I wanted to say write a list of the things that you value about yourself, air signs, and sort of read over it. And I think that's funny, because that's another aspect of all the Virgo energy, is writing lists and getting organized. Or writing lists of to-do lists and things like that. Oh gosh, too many cards fell out there, so sorry, I'm just gonna shuffle again. What's coming up for the air signs this week? I think there's too many cards again. Oh yeah, too many. Sorry guys, I will try again. I want just one card. Just one. Okay, air signs, here we go. Ooh, giving birth. Okay, so I am bringing forth a new and dynamic energy into the world. Wow. Okay, that's pretty powerful. So I'm really drawn to, in this particular oracle card, the looks like a dove that's taking off, and there's a feeling of peace here. Self-love, and the High Priestess is an energy of somebody that knows things, but they don't always share everything that they know. They have a lot of wisdom. So it's a message here about your truth, your wisdom, and focusing your energy on your own self this week quite a bit. It's kind of an internal energy, and see how she's in the cocoon here, in the bubble. It's like it's about giving birth, but she's not ready yet. It's like something that's in the gestation period, I'd like to say. So, you know, before the actual birth happens. So there's something going on internally with the air signs this week that's quite profound. Let's see what else. Saturn, 7th house, Sagittarius. Oh, some truths here. You may have conversation with somebody, because the 7th house comes up as in significant people in your life. And, you know, it could be an older person, someone like a parent, a father figure. I'm getting a masculine energy with the Saturn in Sagittarius. Or it could be someone in your life that you have a deep conversation with this week. You find out some important news through work. You find out some important information that comes your way that someone shares with you that's quite deep in some way. Definitely something about information coming through with the astro dice there that has a seriousness to it, or has a heaviness, or possibly a truth to it with the Saturn Sagittarius. And the 7th house, it's coming from someone else. So you may, air signs, find out some information or news from somebody this week, or you may be, you know, tuning into a podcast and learning something really valuable that helps you see the big picture of something, but it's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from external to you. But it may be that that information comes to you because you've asked for it, because with the High Priestess here, your intuition is very on point this week. You're really in tune with the flow of life. You are focusing on yourself this week, and it is more of an internal experience. So it feels like your energy, air signs, is very much focused on the immediate energies around you, but also things like your self-worth, you know, working on that and being aware of that, or tuning into that in some way. And you may feel a little bit non-compromising this week, air signs, like you just want to do what feels aligned to you personally, and you may not feel like doing things that, you know, where there's a pressure from others involved. That's just what I'm getting. Okay, so that's for air signs. Let's go to the fire signs this week. So let's look at Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, jumping card. Always love that. 4 of Swords. I feel like the fire signs had this recently in another reading, either last week or the week before. I don't know. It wasn't this deck, I don't think. It was another deck, but it just looks familiar. So, okay. So for the 4 of Swords, for the fire signs, there's something here about resting. Interesting, the sun is in the background of that picture, which rules Leo. So some special message for Leo there. There might be some energy around you that feels heavy, that feels like you have to go within and retreat. Let me just see what else I'm getting from this. Yeah, it's interesting because the 4 of Swords doesn't usually depict a grave here. So there's something maybe of an ending or something that you have to let go of, symbolized by the grave. Okay, so fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. This wants to come out. Focus. Interesting too, because this person is quite focused on what they're doing there. So you may have some distractions around you this week that are kind of hard to navigate. The full moon's energy may have affected you in some way, because we have the full moon in the picture there. The butterfly energy in this card can relate to the sign of Gemini. So that is Sagittarian's opposite sign, their 7th house. So it could be something to do with someone with Gemini energy, or that you may be thinking about somebody where there's a connection or a relationship of some kind. You may have communication with somebody this week where it's distracting to your mind in some ways, what I'm getting. So there's a need for you to really focus on what you're doing. Fire signs, what else is coming up? Oh, manifesting dreams. My dreams are coming true. That's a good card. Great card for the fire sign. So working on manifestation. And I did say to the air signs, or I can't remember what I mentioned it, when I was doing the cards, there is an energy of writing things down to manifest them, or to write lists about things that you want to get done, or things that you want to manifest this week, can be quite powerful with all the Virgo energy. Let's look at the astro dice for you guys. Saturn, Cancer, 8th house, kind of a heavy energy there for the fire signs with Saturn, Cancer, 8th house. You may be concerned about family, or you may be, you know, Cancerian energy with Saturn can be, you feel a bit blocked emotionally perhaps on sensitive issues. Saturn in Cancer is detriment. Saturn in Cancer is detriment. It's not the best energy for emotional expression or for freedom of expression. So you may feel a bit hemmed in, clamped down, or a little bit suppressed in your emotions, or a bit that there's some sensitive emotions brewing within you and you're just not sure how you're going to express them. And it's related to 8th house matters. And look, this is a general reading, it won't be for everyone, but 8th house matters are intimacy, sexuality, finances, banking, taxes, shared money, investments, inheritances, deeper psychological aspects of yourself as well. So looks a little bit deep and a bit sensitive for the fire signs this week in some way, but there does seem to be an energy of getting focused on what's most important here and working on manifesting what you want for yourself. So if there's things that you're thinking about that you want for your future, definitely work on that with the Virgo energy, because it can help you get focused. Okay, so those are the fire signs. Let's go to the earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This one. Five of Pentacles. Oof, not the best card. Okay, let's see what else. Five of Pentacles is energy of feeling like either finances or your relationship is going through a little bit of a down period, a bit of a challenging period. Okay, let's see what else for earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh, but have faith. Wow. Okay, so for some of the earth signs, this might just be for one person. You might be either concerned about something to do with pregnancy, fertility, childbirth, or a child. She's pregnant here, and it's interesting because Mother Earth, you can see the earth is the image on her stomach there. So if you're not focused on those particular issues, you may be focused on what's going on with the world and feeling that the energies are a little bit hard to deal with, a little bit negative. But your message here is have faith, okay? And that message would come up because as a reminder to you that things will improve, and you may not be able to see it yet, but they will. This one is sharing of yourself. So it says, I'm an incredibly generous being. So even though you may be struggling in your own life with something personal to you with this card, it is saying when you share of yourself with others or when you give to others, you feel better about things. And it's about overcoming fear as well, is something I'm getting here. So let's see what the Astro dice say for the earth signs. I'm going to do this one again because I didn't drop it. It kind of just fell out of my hand. Sixth house, interesting because that's the Virgo house. Oh, and we have Virgo here. How about that? I just realized. So very Virgo energies. And then we have Mars. And Mars is going into Virgo this week. So obviously with these messages coming up on the Astro dice, this is a very strong energy for Virgos. So for Virgos specifically, you guys will be fired up a little bit with Mars in Virgo from the 30th of July. And even with Venus in Virgo, it's kind of giving you a lot of energy to get things done. You may feel, I'm talking to the Virgo still, you may feel that things are very busy or that you have a lot to organize, or you're decluttering, or you're going through old things and selling things. You may be working on projects that are creative or detailed in some way. Also, issues around health can come up, and this can be for all the earth signs, but it can be more so, rather than a problem with health, it can be more so you getting on top of your health is what I'm seeing here. Being more disciplined with Mars in Virgo, okay? And the sixth house is a house of health, work and routine. Your work might start to get busier this week. If you're an earth sign, you may be very focused on work and health matters. Interesting. All right, and lastly, the water signs. Okay, water signs, let's see what we've got. So, of course, this is for Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, what's coming up this week? King of Swords. So either you're dealing with a male air sign, possibly like a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, or you're thinking of someone, or you're having some kind of connection with someone. Oh, there's something here. What's this one? Expecting miracles. Wow. That's a beautiful message for the water signs. I think there are some water signs watching that really needed to see this card today. There's something really positive in the works coming up, and it could just start with a communication with somebody that gives you a feeling of hope. If it's not that, there's something else happening this week with spirit or spirit guides helping smooth the way about something. There may be just some moment that you have where you get a message of hope, and spirit is talking to you directly. You get a download and they're reassuring you about something, or you actually have something that goes your way. And wow, this is beautiful. New beginnings, new moon. And it's interesting because it's a number 2, and 2s always relate to relationships and soulmates. There's a strong energy around relationships here coming up that I'm feeling for the water signs. It may be that something is brewing this week around a connection with someone, or that you could have a dream about someone that's like a premonition and something that gives you hope for the future. You could have a communication with someone that really makes your day or perks you up and gives you a renewed feeling of happiness or joy. There is something hopeful here coming up for the water signs. That's really beautiful. New beginnings is very strong here. So yeah, and you know, look at this card. See how it's like there's all a storm, a snowstorm, and it's all cold right around here, but as you go through this doorway, this threshold, you're coming into this beautiful sunny spring field, and I almost can hear the birds, you know, singing and tweeting, and it's like you are going through a transition, water signs of some kind. It's not easy. Something about relationships as well comes up here that's significant. Relationship energy, but this miracles is beautiful. So I just heard the word worry. So I think a lot of the water signs have been experiencing some kind of worry, some kind of fear, some kind of stressful experiences, some kind of feeling of being alone or in the cold, but that is going to be changing. And you may see something this week that gives you a sign of hope, or you may experience something this week that fills you with joy and happiness. So let's see what your Astrology say, water signs. Oh my gosh, they just knocked out all the cards. Oh, we have Scorpio. One of the water signs is mentioned, the sun. So some Scorpio suns are mentioned here in the first house. So, all right, so for Scorpio people, in particular, there's a new beginning, because we have the 1 here, which is the first house of self, of new directions, of your path opening up. The sun can be about career, can be about male connections in your life, can be about hope and very positive, bright energy is what I'm getting with the sun in the first house. It's like Leo energy and Aries energy. It's also quite fiery. So, and you had Scorpio as well here. Where's the Scorpio? I lost it. Scorpio, where are you? There we go. Typical Scorpio hiding away. The Scorpio energy talks about a transformation and talks about delving into deeper emotions this week for some reason. So Scorpio energy is not always easy. It can be delving into the darker things, the difficult things to see the truth. But you have a lot of light here with the sun in the first house, which seems quite contrasting to the Scorpio energy, but this can just be a message for Scorpios, I feel, that there's going to be some light shining into your world this week. And not just the Scorpios, but obviously this is a message for all the signs, that you guys have a miracle or something unexpected that's very beneficial to you, that is coming from spirit and is coming through. And, you know, it could be a moment that you have where you feel spirit's presence in your life and it just reassures you and gives you a feeling of hope. Or it could be, you know, you hear from someone that you haven't heard from for a while and it uplifts you. But there's a connection with this card, that Miracles card and the New Beginnings card this week. And there is something, for some of you, not all of you, water signs, to do with soulmates and relationships this week as well. So I'll finish off there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.